Hello, and welcome to the basics of using the hypershade inside of Maya 2017. There are two ways of accessing the hypershade, and the first one is going to Windows, Rendering Editor, Hypershade. The other one is right here, look at the top of your shelf, which is this blue sphere. Once you open it up, you're going to see that the top section here, this shelf, is going to be showing you your materials, your textures, and so forth, but we're going to be sticking to materials for now. On the left side is where we create new materials. The center spot here is how the materials are actually built. You can actually go in and connect nodes in there directly. On the right side is going to be the material viewer. So if I click on Lambert 1, we're going to see it on a 3D sphere. You can navigate it just as you would normal 3D, normally in your perspective mode. Below it is the property editor, and this is where you're going to find all of the options for that shader. So by default, these are going to be the three that are going to be created. To begin with, we are going to begin with just three basic shading options, which I'll show you in 1 second here. So I'm just going to create three spheres. And I'll also show you a different way of assigning colors to objects. So if you select an object and right click, you can go to assign new material, assign favorite material, or assign existing material. So right now I'm going to go to assign new material, which will open up this window, and I'm going to create a Lambert. And as you can notice, it created it here. You can also just click Lambert here. I'm going to delete this one. I will create a blend and a fong. So I'm going to middle mouse drag Lambert 2 directly onto there. And as you notice, if I put it white, and I did this just by dragging this slider here. And I'll do the same with the blend and the fong. I'm going to drag the blend on the second one and the fong on the third one. And as you can notice, we're going from matte to shiny-er, right? And this is the Lambert, the blend, and the fong. So if we go back to the material viewer, we can see here the different options. And the first one is color. So if you click once, you can go in and change the color of that fong. And anything that had the fong material is automatically going to be updated for you. So if I drag the fong and assign it to my rocket here, we're going to see that it's directly assigned to it. So I will change my color and give it a bluish tint. Now this was the second way of accessing the color wheel. If you double click, it'll open up this. You have to make sure to click done afterwards, because if you click X, it won't register the changes. So again, middle mouse drag onto it. The other option is if you select multiple pieces that you would want to be the same color, then you can right click on the material and hold down, and then go assign material to selection. And it'll assign it to all of the objects that you have selected. This will also work if you have some faces selected. So if I select, let's say, the top faces here, I can right click, assign material to selection. And this will allow you to color your rocket. If perchance your rocket or your model has a checkered board, a simple way of doing so is just going to select the faces here. So you'd go all the way around, select all the faces, and then you can assign the material to that selection. Sorry about that. So again, in the hypershade, this is the materials. This is where you're going to find them. The two ways of applying it to an object is to middle drag to it, or with the options with this asset selected, right click, assign material to selection. And you can also just right click on the object and assign one of the existing materials. So I'm going to assign the Lambert 2, and there you go. And this is the basics of using the hypershade. You will not see all of the changes. So for example, if I adjusted the reflectivity on the fog material, you will not see it here. It is impossible to you see the reflectiveness inside the default viewport. There are some options later down the line that we could discuss on how to make it appear. But at this point, the only time you're going to see it is when you go and do the render. So for now, I would just stick to color and or transparency. Transparency will also allow you to make the object more transparent, right? So if we look at this, see this, it's just making the object more transparent. But that's it for now. I hope this helped, and thank you very much.